Aquaman is the king of the seven seas in the world of the DC universe, but he's not the only Atlantean royalty to come out of comic books. Marvel's Namor actually predated Aquaman's publication debut by 2 years. Despite that, it's DC's Atlantean who hit the big screen first, with Namor just now making his cinematic debut in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. These two characters have very obvious similarities, but there are just as many differences that keep them from being the exact same hero. From temperaments to avenues of love, Aquaman and Namor show how two seemingly identical heroes can swim in opposite directions. In the end, however, only one of the two can be crowned the true King of Atlantis. But before that, we notice a lot of you are watching our videos, and we hope you enjoy them. So please, subscribe to our channel so we can bring you more content like this. Namor and Aquaman share many of the same strengths and abilities. As well as both being able to breathe underwater and manipulate water, the two heroes also have superhuman strength, speed, and endurance. Namor and Aquaman have had instances of immense power in their respective comics, but Namor has the edge. Marvel's King of Atlantis has made Hercules bleed, held his own against the Avengers, and almost destroyed Wakanda with a devastating tidal wave. Where Aquaman has the upper hand is his ability to control aquatic life through his marine telepathy. In the past battle with Namor, Aquaman summoned a whale to crush his Marvel counterpart, proving his strength in the sea. Above water, though, Namor's mutant ability to fly, thanks to small wings on his ankles, put him ahead of Aquaman. As much as he outshines Namor in the popularity and personality department, Aquaman can't measure up when it comes to physical combat. Aquaman's powers go far beyond merely talking to fish, with his royal Atlantean blood, granting him incredible superhuman strength and endurance. However, these abilities are magnified for Namor, at least when he's surrounded by water. While in his element, Namor is able to trade blows with even the Hulk, putting him a good bit above even Aquaman's weight class. Of course, Aquaman no longer has any weaknesses in modern comics. His ridiculous Silver Age need to recharge himself with water every hour was eventually gotten rid of, though Namor still shares his similar affliction to maintain his mental state via contact with water. This means that Aquaman could best his Marvel counterpart if the latter were deprived of hydration, but in most circumstances, the seeming villain of Wakanda reigns supreme as the strongest man in Atlantis. The Submariner has quite a strong healing factor stemming from his mutant physiology. It's not nearly as powerful as Deadpool's or Wolverine's, but still, it's quite strong and enough to keep Namor safe. Aquaman, on the other hand, doesn't have such a healing factor, but he still heals faster than the average human and is much more durable when it comes to taking damage. Both Namor and Aquaman wielded all kinds of weapons throughout their comics' history, such as rings of power. However, both of them usually tend to have a trident as their main weapon, specifically the Trident of Neptune. Aquaman's trident was sometimes called the Trident of Poseidon, but the two are essentially the same gods from different mythologies. The difference is that Namor's trident is nowhere near as powerful as Aquaman's, and even if it was, the Submariner hardly ever uses weaponry. He prefers some good old hand-to-hand combat. On the other hand, Aquaman is quite a prolific combatant with his trident, essentially perfecting the craft of fighting with it. Not only that, his trident is nearly indestructible. It proved to be powerful enough to pierce through the skin of a being as powerful as Darkseid himself. The major difference between Namor and Aquaman concerns their personalities. Aquaman is usually portrayed as a squeaky clean hero who, in the comics, has historically been the Justice League's weak link in terms of popularity. Namor is typically an anti-hero in the Marvel Comics, fighting for his people whether the heroes like it or not. This will form a key part of the movie Black Panther: Wakanda Forever storyline that pits Wakanda against Namor's kingdom of Talokan, the MCU's version of Atlantis. Even when part of a team, Namor confidently stands against his teammates if he disagrees with them, a trait that saw him first leave and then fight against the Illuminati. Namor has even fallen all the way into villainy, as with the times when he teamed up with Doctor Doom and Magneto. Despite the Marvel Studios' recent trend of turning serious characters into wacky ones, the MCU's Namor the Submariner is poised to be one of the franchise's most ruthless characters. Introducing Namor as a villain sets the precedent that he is not someone to be messed with down the line. In comparison, Aquaman is a compassionate character, as he spared his villainous half-brother Orm's life, a trait that the MCU will not give to Namor if they choose to keep faithful to the Marvel Comics persona. Maybe this lack of sympathy will be the defining factor that determines whether he can fight against his DC counterpart. Now, if we compare their comic book allies, both Namor and Aquaman have had some incredibly powerful teams behind their backs. Namor was a member of both the Avengers and the X-Men at some point. The problem is, however, it was never a steady affair. He always did something to either get expelled from the teams he was on, or simply chose to abandon them for his own goals. Therefore, you can't really count on them to be Namor's allies full-time. On the other hand, Aquaman was a full-time member of the Justice League, the most powerful superhero group in the DC Comics universe. Now, if you combine the X-Men and Avengers as Namor's allies, they could certainly take down the Justice League together. But it was hardly ever the case with Namor, and he lost more allies than he kept over the years, so in the best-case scenario, his allies could match Aquaman's toe-to-toe. So, who is the true King of Atlantis? I would probably have given this one to Aquaman because, while he can't fly, he doesn't need to. He can confine the entire battle with Namor to the water where he holds the edge over the aquatic wildlife. And while he might not have the stronger arsenal of weapons, what he does have is the exceptional skill with one, the Trident. With an indestructible weapon and a fully committed Justice League to back him up, Namor simply doesn't stand a chance. So there you are, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to KRTV Marvel. And as always, thanks for watching.